welcome to Rampage, a Ram Crew. I, Michael Cole, Tony Schiavone, and Paul E. Dangerously here. And just a little note, Tony Schiavone will also go on to do Alone Tonight Raw with Renee Young and Corey Graves. And Michael Cole's going to go do Friday SmackDown. That Tony Schiavone's going to go do Raw with Renee Young and Wade Barrett. And Michael Cole here is going to do Friday SmackDown with Renee Young and Corey Graves, on top of doing Dynamite and Might with me and Taz, Rampage and Ramfru with me and Paulie Dangerously. Oh yeah, it looks like that you, Michael and Tony, are going to be the most worked play-by-play callers in the toy wrestling gathering. Jim Ross only gets to do on 2 shows. Renee Young only gets to do 2 shows, but you folks got to do almost all the shows. Yeah, I guess we do all the heavy lifting, Michael Cole says. I guess you would think so, Tony Schiavone says. And we understand that the TWF Women's Heavyweight Winnings is going to be on stake here today on Dynamite or Might, when the newly won, the new TWF Women's Heavyweight fighter, Amber Moon, now known as Athena to AEW folks, but we're going to still call her Ember Moon, and she's going to look for someone she wants to fight. Well, I can tell you one thing, Michael, who she wants to wrestle and who she wants to fight is more up to a belief here. Ember Moon beat Nikki Cross to win the held-up TWF Women's Heavyweight Winnings not too long ago, so we'll see who's going to take her up on it. Well, we haven't heard from Michael and Tony, we haven't heard from Gil Kim, who is the overseer, the TWF Women's Overseer, or whatever they're calling it these days, the TWF Women's Matchmaker or whatever. We haven't seen her in months. Does she even still work here? Paulie Dangerously says. We're going to have... That she isn't still work here. We know she's been in TNA WIW, TNA W, IWGSW, IW, TNA W since 2011 YL. Well, Paulie Dangerously says, we haven't seen her in some time. Alright, everyone. Shit. Alright, I can't stand up in the ring. It's so sad. Alright, everyone. I, the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And I know that my winnings or my strap isn't around my shoulder or around my middle right now. We're going to have to go and, get that out. We're going to have to go and get that out. And the only grounds, and some folks have been saying shit, and they said, they said the only grounds to why, they're like, the only grounds to why, they would say shit like, the only grounds to why you won it was that somehow, some way, somehow, some way that Bailey went missing or was missteaded. And since they didn't have really, since they really didn't know where she got buried at or missteaded at, they ended up, having me and Nikki Cross fight. Well, whatever. The TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, and it is what it is. Alright? Like it or not, it is what it is. Yes, that is true, Ember Moon, Gil Kim says. It is what it is. I don't mind a lot of folks out there with their belief over. It's true that Bailey got missteaded, and when we seek her, you will have to fight her. sooner or later. But as of right now, you do need someone to wrestle and fight. Hey, I didn't say anything about wanting to have anyone wrestle or fight here. I was just coming out to talk about how folks scathe me and say, you only won the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings because Bailey went missing or got missteaded. You know? Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't let what folks think of you, good or bad, get to you. But you do have to, but you do got to put your winnings on stake. I mean, yes, you beat Nikki Cross. Yes, you are the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, but you always got to keep putting it on stake. Gil, I know me and you went back many years, back to my first run in TNAW, when I was known as Jade. Alright, you know I beat you, and I won the TNAW Women's Heavyweight winnings before I had my first run in WWE, for my 2-diff run in TNIW, which became TNAW again, and my 2-diff run in WWE. Well, what do you want? I want to fight Ember Moon, Athena, whatever she's calling herself these days. Alright, Gil. Alright, Mia Ying, I will give that to you. Alright. Here's the match. Here today, we will see Ember Moon take on Mia Ying for the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. Well, now we just got to get a Fight Lord in here. More like he pops in. Supposedly that knocks over Mia Ying. You know. This match is for the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. First, she is Mia Ying. And she is the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Ember Moon. Well, we do know Michael Cole said that Ember Moon is the ROH Women's Heavyweight Fighter in AEW. But I don't know if that is going to help her or not. Well, it doesn't seem to help her or not, Michael Cole said, in a hip toss and then a body slam by Mia Ying. Well, yeah, Tony Schiavone said it's true. She is the ROH Women's Heavyweight Fighter in AEW. She was a former WWE NXT Heavyweight Fighter and former WWE NXT Women's Tag Team Fighter during her run in WWE. Oh yeah, Mike, and I'll tell you right now, Paulie Dangerously says, some folks think that WWE dropped the ball on Ember Moon. She did a lot of great things in her first run in NXT. She went to Raw, not so much. Went to SmackDown, not so much. Back when NXT did some things and then was let go. Well, Paulie Dangerously says, and Mia Ying here is a former TNAW Women's Heavyweight Fighter. She did beat Gail Kim back when she was known as Jade, and they were in a dollhouse team together. Yeah, before her first run in WWE, you know. Oh, and Mia Ying right now wants to show everyone that she can be the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Michael Cole said. Tony Schiavone said we got to look out for the Eat the Feet. Well, with Gail Kim's ending hold in her 2-diff run in WWE and her 2-diff run in TNAW, Tony Schiavone said. Well, or Mia Ying can go right into the ring post like so many wrestlers do. That's a trope here in the toy wrestling gathering. Paulie Dangerously says wrestlers going into ring posts. Ember Moon came out to bitch about the scathing, Paulie Dangerously says, how she won the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. You know, she really should not care about that. I mean, I have folks scathe me over things I said and did, and very few of it is something you really care that much about. You know, right now Ember Moon wants to do the Eclipse, but Mia Ying just got out of the way. To Eat the Feet. Gail Kim's hold, which is now Mia Ying's hold, if it's going against the oversight of a wrestler working another wrestler's end hole, Michael Cole says. Well, I don't know if there is, Tony Schiavone said, but most likely the handicap will be, oh, you can't win any matches with it. Tony Schiavone said, yeah, that's the trope, Paulie dangerously says. 1, 2, and a kick out. Mia Ying doesn't understand why the eat the feet didn't work. Ember Moon got her. Oh, the eclipse, the block. Ember Moon just beat Mia Ying. Michael Cole says, yes, she did, Tony Schiavone says. Yeah, Paulie dangerously says. Now they can shut up about how she won it. They'll just bitch about how she kept it. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding. Here is your winner, and still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter, Ember Moon. And Ember Moon is a 2-time TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. She did win it before, She did win it before she lost it to Bianca Belair, and Bianca Belair's early run, and in the toy wrestling gathering. Well, Michael Cole says we just saw Ember Moon beat Mia Ying and keep the TWF Women's Heavyweight winnings. I know Tony Schiavone says, Michael Cole, some folks out there are going to say, oh, why are you still calling her Ember Moon? She's Athena now, because we're going by WWE ring names, not AEW ring names. Sorry. But I think it was a good match between Ember Moon and Mia Ying. Yeah, Michael Cole said, it'd be like someone saying, why are you calling her Mia Ying? She's Minching now. First off, that is a Koreish borrowed word. The English word means crazy, and we go by her ring name that she either has some ownership to, which would be Reckoning or Mia Ying, or we're choosing Mia Ying. Michael Cole says, well, who cares which ring name you're going by, who owns it, who doesn't, who's got ownership or double right over it, or whatever. Ember Moon and Mia Ying had one hell of a match. Ember Moon is still the TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. Yes, she still is the ROH Women's Heavyweight Fighter in AEW. And so far, Mia Ying hasn't really won anything, either in her first run in WWE when she was on NXT, and then Raw and then SmackDown, her two-diff run, when she was then on Raw and then on SmackDown. But sooner or later, I guess she will. I guess. Well, I take it away now to Jim Ross. Well, thank you, Michael Cole and Tony Schiavone. I'm going to be talking with Ember Moon here today on Rampage or Ramfru. Ember Moon, you're still the 2-time TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. How does that make you feel? It makes me feel great. Shit. It makes me feel good, Jim Ross, to know that I'm still the 2-time TWF Women's Heavyweight Fighter. And you also know, Jim Ross, that I am also still the ROH Women's Heavyweight Fighter in AEW. Yes, I do know that. And I know a lot of folks out there were scathing you about how you only had a match and how you beat Nikki Cross because Bayley went missing or was missteaded. Yeah, that tends to happen a lot in the toy wrestling gathering, and some folks out there, Jim Ross, scathed me for it. But I'm here to tell you something. At the end of the day, I don't care. They can bitch and rant and scathe me and slight me all they want about how I want it, but I want it, alright? And if we can seek Bayley one day, wherever she's been buried, or wherever she's been hiding, or went missing, or was missteaded to, then I'll give her that match too. Well, anyway, Ember Moon, it was one hell of a match you had here today on Rampage or Ramfru with Mia Ying. Yes, it was. And there are going to be many more matches to come like that. Well, that's my talk with Ember Moon. Back to you, Tony Schiavone and Michael Cole. Well, thank you, Jim Ross, for talking with Ember Moon here today on Rampage or Ramfru. And that's all the time we got it for Rampage or Ramproof. I, Michael Cole, Tony Schiavone, and Paulie Dangerously, we hope you like Rampage or Ramproof, and we'll see you tomorrow for Collision or Hit.